Today we're going to take a look at the Taxes and POS Flags section of Control Center. Under Taxes there are 3 tabs. We have Tax Rates, Tax Groups, and POS Flags. All of these tabs have to work together in order to create your taxing. A tax rate is a type of tax that will be given to each location, and we can choose whether or not specific stores will get that tax rate. If you ever needed to add another tax rate, just click Add New on the top right, and then give it a name. If there's an account number associated with this tax rate, you can add it here as well. Tax rates can be divided by store if there's any differences. If our municipality has a singular tax rate of 8%, for example, each location will read 8%. If one or more locations is different, we can change the individual rates here as needed. Then there is Rate Value in Percentage. This will show the value of the tax as a percentage. There's also a flat tax option and an occupational tax. Unless there's a special taxing condition that you need for your store, flat tax will work in almost any situation. After you have filled that out, you can click Save and Close or just Save. Next, we need to create a tax group. The point of a tax group is to bundle tax rates together to assign to a department later on. This is essential to combine all of our taxes into one bucket. You must give it a name, a description, and then we have a drop-down for all of the tax rates that have been created. Select the one that you want and click the green Add Rate button. You can decide whether or not it's enabled by pressing either yes or no. After that, if you save and close, this group is now associated with that tax rate. After the group is associated with the tax rate, we can move into POS flags. Flags simply determine what tax group each department gets assigned. If we press Add New, give the POS flag a name, and then select the tax group that was just created. If you remember, a tax group is using a tax rate. This is how we assign a rate to a POS flag. Underneath the tax group is Negative Flag. If we check this to yes, any item scanned will be added as a negative value to the transaction, rather than a positive one. The only time you ever want to make something a negative flag is if it's a department that's going to be negative, such as lottery redemption or a customer return. Then we have Allow Food Stamps. This is to dictate whether or not the department is allowed to accept food stamps as a form of payment in that department. And then we have Age Restrictions. This is where we control age-gated items. For example, if creating one for cigarettes and one for liquor, we would give it an age requirement of 21. If there's going to be excise tax calculated to a specific tax group, it can be added here. On the right side, we have Manage Excise Tax Location. This can be used to define which store the tax is going to be used by clicking the green Add Location button and then selecting which store is going to use it. Then we have Manage Age Restrictions Locations. This feature allows you to change the age restriction per location. If, for example, you have stores in multiple states with different age requirements. If the age restriction ever changed from 18 to 21, for example, it could be changed here. When all this information is filled out, press Save and Close. From there, you will open up your department. And then under the Options tab, we have the POS flag. Once this is set up, you will be able to select that POS flag, and when it's selected, any item that's scanned in that particular department will receive the tax information. This concludes our training session today on taxes and POS flags.